This is The Stash, and you're listening to the Business Bottom Line podcast, coming to you from the Jewel City of the Mountains, Greenville, Tennessee. We are in the foothills of the Smokies, talking business with people just like you who are responsible for the bottom line, sharing business tips to inspire, inform, improve, and turn your bottom line from red to black. And our guest today is Mr. JohnChance, who is with Tash Associates in Greenville. So let's get acquainted. Tell us who you are and what you do.
Well, I'm JohnChance, just like you said. What I do, I am a producer. I work with people turning 65, Medicare, people already on Medicare, and also some life insurance, and we do annuities for people.
Okay, so people retiring or with money that needs to be invested?
Yes.
Okay. Now, do you work in the stock market or mutual funds, or what do you? How do you do
No, it's not in stock markets. The annuities are indexed. They are tied to the stock market, or they're indexed by the stock market, but they're not tied to the stock market. They're not invested in the stock market itself.
Okay. All right. So tell us something about your family.
Well, I'm widowed, and I have 5 children and two stepchildren, and I have 11 grandchildren, and one on the way, so I make 12. So
You got enough to share with somebody. You want to
I
share?
do. Well, sure. I'm gonna have to get a big old car to carry them all around in.
You're gonna have to have a bus to take all your grandkids with you, John.
Oh yes.
Well, that's good.
They're
So ages from where to where?
ages from 5 months to 30
Oh my goodness.
years.
I didn't know you was old enough to have a grandchild that old, John.
I tell you what, I don't feel like it, but it's.
Well, do you have a favorite activity that you do with family when you get together, or whether it's all or part? What's your favorite family activity?
Well, with grandkids, we like to go fishing.
Okay.
And with just the kids and everybody together, we like to cook out and, just sit around, talk, and have a good time.
Okay. So where's your favorite fishing hole? Where do you go?
Cherokee Lake.
Cherokee Lake. And what do you catch there?
Anywhere from bluegill to bass.
Okay. Everything in between.
We're not we don't discriminate. We just catch whatever we can get.
Whatever gets on. Well, do you have a favorite book, or have you read a favorite book lately that you would share with us and tell us what it is and why?
Well, my favorite book I've not read. I've read it several times, but it's not been lately. It's called Personality Plus. With what I do, with working with different people, I try to learn different personalities so I know how to relate to them and work with them in a better way, and that's what this book teaches. Okay,
so that's kind of a quasi-business book, yes. But probably helps with relationships, period.
It does. It does, not only in business, but in personal relationships and all, and I enjoy people, and that's part of the reason that I enjoy the book, is learning how to relate to them and all.
It would be hard to be in this business if you didn't enjoy people, John.
Yes,
that's what
it
is.
It is.
People business.
It is.
All right. Well, tell me now, this is one of those quirky questions. Android or iPhone?
Android.
Why?
To me, it's simpler to operate.
Okay. Yeah. Now, you've had iPhones before,
yes,
haven't you?
I've had one.
Okay. Well, we had another person that had been converted from iPhone, so all my iPhone friends, I'm after your people. They're being converted to Android. It really, when you get deep into one system or the other, it's hard to change over.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, that's true. So, what's the biggest hurdle you face in your work every day? Is it people, technology, competition? What is it if you said, this is the biggest hurdle I got?
Well, asked me that 3 or 4 years ago, and it would have been technology. Because when I first started in this business, everything was paper, and then everything started converting over to technology. And it took me a while. At my age, it took me a while to grasp it. I still don't have all the way around it, but I do better than what I did.
Okay.
And
Are you saying old dogs can learn new tricks?
Yes, they can, if they want to.
That's true. I agree.
I guess, though, really, the overall thing, I guess technology is my biggest
still a big hurdle.
It is still a
Well,
hurdle.
you never get through with it. You learn one system and then there's another one, or you think you learned one and they change it. And so you have to learn the changes in it. So it is a constant challenge. That's true.
Well, it relates to this business anyway, because the insurance business is always a evolving.
Yeah. It's fluid, that's for sure.
Pretty fluid, and we've been able to. And technology helps you keep up with it, but it's just you got to learn one to learn the other now.
That's true. It's all integrated. You can't turn your computer off and do business, because that's how the companies do business.
It is.
And it's how people want to do business too.
It is.
Yeah.
Anymore it is, and particularly since COVID, it has been more so.
Yeah.
With us.
Yeah. It's kind of speeded up the changes, as it were. That's true. Well, tell us what you do. In other words, what's it feel like to get up in the morning and be JohnChance? What your activities look like?
Professionally?
Yeah, in your work. I mean, what's that look like?
Well, a lot of times I don't even come to the office. I'm like an old-timey doctor. I make house calls. And I go, we see people at their homes or places that they would like to meet. Or some of them will come to the office. But I work anywhere from Knox County line to Bristol.
Okay.
And
you cover most of East Tennessee.
I cover most East Tennessee.
So you do quite a bit of driving.
I do.
Okay.
I do.
How many miles you put on that vehicle every year?
I put about 10,000 on mine last year.
Okay. Well, that's not horrible now.
No, but short trips and
yeah.
Talking to one of our associates here, he's doing a lot more driving than I am right now, and he's wore out.
Yeah.
The driving wears you out more so than the work does.
Well, that's true. The driving is you have to pay attention. You don't have a self-driving car yet, do you?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I'd like to hire me a chauffeur sometimes.
Well, Patrick might apply for that job if you.
We'll talk after this.
Yeah, that's our audio engineer over there, Patrick. He's pushing all the buttons and keeping us on track here.
We'll get him a good education.
Yeah, that's true. How does what you do help other people? If you was going to explain what's the benefit, how does it help other people, what you do?
Well, being with the insurance, you're transferring a risk from yourself to a company,
okay,
or to someone else. And what I do, I help people transfer their medical costs from themselves to different various companies and ways to handle that. We provide them with either a Medicare supplement policy or a Medicare Advantage plan to various companies that we're contracted with. And also we work with them on prescription drug plans, which helps transfer their prescription costs over to somewhere else. And it just, that helps that. Also, with the life insurance, it leaves a legacy for their family if
it's true.
That, or help with their final expenses and all. So we help them transfer a lot of cost to someone else for a minimal amount of money for themselves.
Okay. So regardless of which piece of that you're talking about, you're talking about helping protect a family or a business or whoever you're working with, their financial interest.
Yes.
So that's
what we're doing.
Yeah, they don't get overwhelmed with whatever the cost might be.
It is.
And healthcare can overwhelm you quick in cost.
Real quick, it can. Yeah. With personal experience and talking to clients and all and listening to their experiences and all, yes. Mm-hmm. And you can get overwhelmed real quick.
Yeah. And there's a part of that's peace of mind that goes along with helping with that financial risk, transferring that risk as you described it, where people can have peace of mind so they can sleep at night.
Yes. If like I was talking about personal experiences, some of the experiences I've had, if I'd had to come up with the money to cover some of the costs that I've had, I wouldn't sleep at all.
Yeah, that's true. You might be having to sell assets to pay, which people can get into that position.
They can real quick
if they're not protected well.
Yeah. They can real quick.
And that's where we talk about transferring the risk. The risk is there, and you either have to take care of it yourself or get somebody to help you.
Right. It's just like I tell people when we're sitting down with them with Medicare, you've got you've got 2 or 3 options with Medicare. You can just go with the basic Medicare, A and B, or you can and take care of what Medicare doesn't cover yourself, or you can go with the Medicare Supplement policy or Medicare Advantage plan and fill in the gaps of what Medicare doesn't pay for. And that way they don't have to come out of pocket with that much money. If they just go with regular Medicare, you've got a 20% amount to cover out of pocket with no cap on it.
Yeah. And that can get nasty if you have surgeries or have to be in the hospital for extended periods, those kinds of things.
It can be.
Yeah, that's true. And I know you do some work too. You didn't specifically mention this, but I know you do some work with people retiring and having part of 401k plans or other savings that they have moving into retirement. Just talk a little bit about how you approach that.
Well, in talking with them and then bringing up what they have and what, and we approach them with the idea of them covering that money in it where it would work for them for a period of time, and then at some point in time taking it and start drawing an income off of it, which they cannot outlive, which it would for the rest of their life. And if there's any left over when they pass, that passes on as a legacy to whoever their beneficiaries are.
Okay, yeah. And so now you don't do like investments in the stock market like you mentioned that earlier, but you have a term that you call what you do when you help people with their money like that.
It's a safe money strategy is what we use. That's the terminology that we use.
Yeah, I heard you say that before. Yeah. So it's it allows people to get some growth on their existing funds without exposing them to big losses.
It does, and it can gain money for you, but it will not lose money for you.
Okay.
You can capture all the gains that you make. You hang on to those, and by indexed in the stock market, the better the stock market does, the better what these will do. But if the stock market backs up, starts going down, then you lock in everything that you've already gained. You do not lose anything.
Yeah, that's a pretty important strategy in your later years after you've stopped working.
Yes, it's very conservative.
Yeah,
and that's one of the things that a lot of people retiring and all, they don't want to risk their money because they can't really afford to. If they have if a stock market crashes and they lose it, they're hurting.
Yeah, they can't get it back.
No,
I mean,
it doesn't. They can't. I've heard a lot of stockbrokers talk about, you leave it in there long enough and it'll come back. Well, a lot of times retirees don't have a lot of time to leave it there.
Yeah, in your earlier years of life, that is a good strategy.
It is.
Because it will come back.
Yes.
But in later years, it's much harder to get it back, and you may not have time to wait for it.
You're not, you don't have a way of replenishing what you've already lost.
Yeah, it's true. Well, you may have answered most of this before, but I'm just going to ask it this way. What's the biggest challenge for you in your work? And you were talking earlier about, a hurdle being technology, but is there anything else that's a big challenge in your work that you face day to day, week to week?
If you are in this business, you spend a lot of time trying to acquire clients, trying to get appointments with people and trying meeting different people. And the biggest hurdle, I guess, is getting a strategy to work for you that will help you feed this on an ongoing basis. And, there's no one silver bullet with it. It's a accumulation of different things that you do that will do that.
Yeah.
And
there's an awful lot of noise in today's world. There's information overload. It's so bad that people don't want to answer their phone if they don't recognize their number. So it's difficult to get an opportunity to communicate with people.
Yes, it is.
Even knowing that you may be able to help them, but getting that opportunity is a difficult thing, isn't it?
People, yes, it is. The people are so scared. I guess it could be a word that you could use of other people, being scammed.
Yes.
Which is a lot of that's going on, particularly with senior citizens. That's a big hurdle that we have to overcome.
It is you're right. It's a big hurdle, and you just have to talk to your own family, and you realize how much of that goes on every day, and so it creates a distrust until somebody gets to know you and that you're trustworthy. So referrals are a big piece of that.
Yes, they are.
People that have worked with you.
That they are a big piece of it. In the last couple of 3 years, my referrals personally have picked up because a brother or sister who's retired, and they're referring us to family members or friends, and it has picked up. Particularly since all the robocalls have started coming in and things like that, then we do get referrals. And it has picked up.
Yeah, I could see how that's a big hurdle. If you had to say or give your prediction of how the future is going to unfold, and you can pick an area. It doesn't have to be. People think about technology. We all know it's going to get more advanced, whatever that means. Means different things to everybody. But what do you see happening over the next year? Just give us a wild prediction. What do you think's going to happen? Is the world going to end, or what's going to happen, John?
I don't know about that part of it yet, but hey, if it doesn't, the sun's going to come up tomorrow. That's for sure.
I'm counting on that.
Yes,
I'm counting on that.
But no, what's going to happen the next year? I think people, the way things look right now, people are going to be more conservative. They're going to rely on each other more so than where we've had in the past. A lot of people are relying on the government. I think the way things are going with the government right now is there's a lot of distrust in that.
Yeah,
and
can't argue there.
And I think people are going to have to learn to rely on each other and on their own resources to get by.
Well, yeah, family. I think family is going to continue to maybe in a sense be a revival of the importance of family and community. I'm thankful we live in a community like we do.
Yes,
where we have sensible leaders and of good character, and that's a blessing to us in the community that sometimes we don't think about.
Right.
Because not every community, every city has that, but we do here locally, and I'm thankful for that.
With having friends and all that has been in local government, they worry a lot about the people that they do represent and what's going on, and they're very cognizant about what they need to be doing and looking at.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I hope your prediction's good, because I think the more we stay connected and rely on family and friends, the better off we are in the long run as people and a community as well.
Well, I think people are finding out now that the government's not the answer to what they, at one point in time they was thinking, but I think they're finding out now the government's not the answer to all problems.
Yeah. Well, I agree with that. Hopefully that's the truth, what you're saying, that people are. Well, let's wrap up with this question. We always ask everybody to give the best bottom line business tip, business life tip that you can give, because this is the Bottom Line Podcast. So what is your bottom line tip that you can give to business or life tip that you think can make a difference?
Pay attention to the small details of what they do and how their business is run, and with their clients, customers. I think the small things that you do daily, it adds to what your business is and what your bottom line can be.
Yeah, I think that's good advice. Take care of the details. The big things tend to get focused on easily, but the details often make the difference. And I know we have some people who are really good with details. And if they're building your house, or if they're putting your insurance policy together, those details are important.
Yes, they are.
You want them to be right.
They are.
That's a good tip for everybody. Well, that's a wrap for today's Business Bottom Line Podcast. Take that tip and make your bottom line turn from red to black, And we'll see you next time right here in the Jewel City of the Mountains, Greenville, Tennessee. This is the Stash saying we're here to inspire, inform, and improve your bottom line so you can grow, grow, grow.